Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about the new stadium slash arena in Inglewood, and it's called the Intuit Dome. The Intuit Dome is the new home for the Los Angeles Clippers, and believe it or not, it's already transforming Inglewood's economy, community, and future. The Intuit Dome is more than just a sports arena. It's a symbol of change, not only in LA County, but also in the NBA, as the Clippers now have their own stadium slash arena. I'm not sure if you know this, but they've been sharing what was Staples Center for, gosh, who knows how many years now. But now that the Clippers have their own arena, so that's very good for them. So, what is the Intuit Dome? Well, the Intuit Dome is a $2 billion privately funded arena built by the Clippers owner, Steve Ballmer, this gentleman right here. It opened for this NBA season already, and it houses 18,000 seats, and it's very futuristic. The design is a futuristic basketball, as you've seen from the picture before. Um, and they really went with the high tech design. Um, yeah, let's go on to the next slide. So let's talk about the economic impact that the Intuit Dome brings to Inglewood. It's a very huge deal. So it's expected to generate around $260 million a year in local economic activity. So that stems from the small things up to the big things. It also created over 7,000 jobs, and 30% of those jobs were filled by local residents, believe it or not. In addition to the jobs, the Clippers committed up to $100 million toward community investments, which was pledged by the owner Steve Ballmer, but who knows if we see all that money actually go towards what they pledged. Um, Not only that, but the Intuit Dome, since its creation or opening, also expects new retail stores, hotels, and restaurants to open nearby, which is usually what we see when big arenas or big stadiums get built. So let's talk about the pros and cons of the Intuit Dome being built. So the pros of the Intuit Dome, um, there's job creation. So there's already been thousands of jobs that have been created, and as well as the Intuit Dome boosts small businesses. So basically, local restaurants or services nearby get a boost because there's more people in that area, right? There's people out of town attending the Clippers games or the concerts. So all those local businesses get a boost in the revenue, and it was also privately funded, so it cost the taxpayer nothing, zero, which is very rare to see nowadays for a project this big. It's also going to help Inglewood get more attention throughout the world. So let's say perhaps the 2028 Olympics. I'm not sure what sports they can do inside, but if there's indoor sports, they can do them here at the Intuit Dome, which is the nice stadium here in LA now, technically, because Staples Center, which is now Crypto Arena, is very out of date. So now that we've talked about the pros about the Intuit Dome, let's talk about the cons. Well, the cons are for sure, you must have realized, the traffic congestion. So the Intuit Dome is right across from the other newly built arena or stadium in LA called SoFi Stadium. And if SoFi Stadium already has bad traffic, and LA has bad traffic in general, imagine when both of these stadiums slash arenas have an event going on. It's going to be very bad. Um, Another con is the risk of gentrification, which basically means losing local residents. This is very bad because it disassembles the community as a whole, right? I'm not sure if you guys know this, but the Dodger Stadium had a similar story. They had to kick out local residents or they bought their land, and I forget what it's called, but they used like the government to intervene, and they basically stole lots of local residents their land to create Dodger Stadium. And as well, Intuit Dome will bring rising rent and rising housing costs. Why? Who knows? But that's just how it usually gets because of attention, and the Intuit Dome is nice, so that's what it causes. So let's talk about the community impact. As we said already, the Intuit Dome supports minority businesses, local restaurants that are there. You guys know even street vendors, the people selling the hot dogs outside those stadiums. Those people have families and they need money. So it's going to raise a lot of money in that perspective. And as part of the pledge, I believe $75 million were pledged toward affordable housing and new parks. This is Sankofa Park. I'm not sure if they've even started building it, but that was apparently supposed to get opened uh, between next year or this year. Um, as well as let's talk about the local hiring initiatives that went through on building this arena. 35% of the construction jobs given during building were given to Inglewood residents. And I'm pretty sure most of the people working at the Intuit Dome currently are also Inglewood residents or of nearby LA County residents. Um, as well as community programs. So apparently there was also a community pledge to bring more community programs. So the final slide, discussion questions. We see like the bigger story of what the Intuit Dome is, right? It's much more of a it's part of a much bigger transformation. It brings in new money, new businesses, and it prepares Inglewood for big events like the Olympics, right? It helps the city after who knows how long economic struggles it's had, and there's a lot of money inflow coming in of stuff like this being built. But there's also risk that people who live in this community might get left behind if housing costs too much or the rent gets raised. So, with that, I leave you with these discussion questions. Who do you think truly benefits from these projects? The owners or the community? So that's something to think about. We know that Steve Ballmer, he's very enthusiastic about his Clippers, but I want to see what you guys think about. As well as a second discussion question, should arenas be privately funded? I'm pretty sure you guys are going to agree with yes. That way they don't bear off any of the taxpayer. And then the final question is, will the Intuit Dome do more good than harm? Let me know what you guys think. Thank you very much for watching my presentation. And I'm very sorry if I sound bad. I'm sick. Thank you.